The top of the hill. You see Paul Menard running on here. This look to the left, and that's Tony.
Wow. The inner loop is definitely throwing a curveball for a lot of these drivers. I think right after this, David Rudiman at the end of the front stretch going off into turn one. But I like what Watkins Glen, what they've done here. It wasn't that many years ago we would come up here and there was gravel there. And if you ended up in that gravel, they were going to have to stop practice and come pull you out. But now they've got all that runoff. Now, I know David Rudiman is 30th, but Bob, his teammate Martin Truex Jr. is 6th.
6th quick, and he's very happy with his race car. Like what we saw there, the boys in the booth talking about how wild your car looked, but you seem like you were having fun.
That's what happens here when you run a few laps in a row. It gets slippery, so I'm pretty happy with the Napa Toyota right there. It's actually better than that, so pretty happy with it, and just keep tuning on a little bit. It gets a little bit free as I run, so we'll work on that and see what we can do with it.
How about going through the inner loop? I mean, how wild was that from the cockpit of the race car?
It wasn't bad, you know, just an everyday lap around Watkins Glen. So yeah, not too bad. Just got in there a little bit hot that last lap, and probably should use a little more brake, slowed it down before I turned in. You know, you got to try to go over the limits in practice, and you know, so you can keep working on your car and getting it better. And if you can drive it that hard in a race and the car stick with you, you can have a good day.
Just another day at the office for Martin Truex Jr.
And that kind of driving and that kind of action is why Watkins Glen is such a popular event on the Sprint Cup calendar. And guys, I like to think of this as it's more than a race. Sometimes you go to places and it's a race. This is an event. This is somewhere that the fans love coming to. There's such an atmosphere about this place and about this time of the year. It's a huge weekend with Sprint Cup, Nationwide, Grand Am. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people here. It's just it's a great place to be.
Yeah, you're talking about those crazy people in the infield. That's what you're talking about.
Hanging from the trees.
Yeah, but truly, as a driver, and speaking of when we used to come up here, I used to love to come up here because it was so different than running the ovals week in and week out. It was almost like a vacation for the drivers too, because you honestly felt like no matter where you were in points, no matter how your car was running, that you as a driver could make up a little bit. You might be a 15th place car, but you felt I got a chance to run in the top 10 this week. May not have a shot at winning the race, but I can carry that car 3 or 4 positions. And I think a lot of guys that really have fun up here, that's the way they feel about it. And it is an event in this area. The people up here, people that come out of Canada, that come down here to watch Watkins Glen, there's some great race fans up here. I think forever stock car race thought the only fans they had were in the south or southeast. But when we came here for one of the, I guess the first time, it was truly amazing.
You know, a little bit of a surprise. You see right there Ron Fellows in his 36 car. Now, he did with that last lap, he jumped from 36 to 29, driving for Tommy Ball, and he's only run a total of 6 laps. I know Ron has maybe not had that much success at Infineon, but pretty much he has wrote the book on this place at Watkins Glen, because he has 3 wins here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. He has 2 wins in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. It looks like to me Casey Mears, that has a look, unlike Robbie Gordon, that definitely has a look of engine failure to it with Casey Mears.
Down the front stretch here at the Glen, and you can really see there, as Casey is off to the right-hand side of the track, you can really see there the topography of the circuit. That shows you there how steep that run down into turn 1 is here. Boys, let's have a look what happened. Where is the kaboom?
You know, that's coming up off the corner. Yeah, and we are seeing, we're seeing a lot of that. You know, I think we saw it in the Nationwide race last week with the 16 car. These things are blowing up when you're full in the gas. It's not on deceleration, it's on acceleration. We've seen more and more cars this year. The one car at wherever he was at, I can't remember, but and you see the oil on the racetrack where he's out in the groove out there where you're coming off sideways anyhow. But you know, that's a funny thing. I think engine brake, it goes in cycles, and you see sometimes on deceleration they'll brake, but these things are busting on acceleration, and that was a big time blow up. You don't see a lot of oil put down much anymore.
What was that word you used a while ago? Topography?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Up and down.
The undulation of the
up and down.
Why don't you just say up and down?
I don't know.
Up and down.
Dumbest Stuff on Wheels. Wednesday, 8 Eastern on Speed.
Tell me about Castrol GTX with Tri-Shield. First it attracts particles.
Like a bug lamp.
Right, then it captures them.
Like a mousetrap.
Then it disperses them.
Like a slingshot.
Helps stop deposits.
From building up.
In your engine.
Right.
Castrol GT